Can you hear me now? I'll try not to use my radio voice. Finish Chish Hau'a, Chairman Schatz and Vice Chairwoman, Senator Murkowski from Alaska. Thank you so much for your words of introduction, and to the committee. Finish Chish Hau'a for your time today. Like those who have spoken before me, this is not an easy subject to address. In my introduction, Senator Murkowski spoke about my heritage, that I am Haida and Tlingit, and I come from Kich, Kwan, the people of the community of Cake. Our name really means mouth of the dawn people. I sit here before you as the granddaughter of a survivor. Her name was Mona Jackson. I wear her regalia here today because I wanted to bring her with me. And I wanted to become a vessel for her voice and for the voice of so many of our other children, our most vulnerable, who were taken from our communities. They were not just taken from their communities. While we focus on the importance of the children who were taken, it is also incredibly important to focus on the communities that they were taken from. I often wonder, what would it be like to come from a place with no children? This is what was imposed on our people. Could you imagine having your own children taken? Communities without children. As was stated earlier, over 83% of our children were taken across this country. That is a staggering amount, and likely has left some uncounted. I work for an organization called First Alaskans Institute, and our vision is progress for the next 10,000 years. This is a large number, which we know that we can look to because we come from over 10,000 years of history here in this place. And this period of the boarding schools was a short window of time that exacted so much precise damage. This was intentional and purposeful harm. This commission will finally help us tell the truth about the United States history and its relationship with its Native people. When I think about the process that we have been engaged in Alaska called Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation, we used the process over the past almost 14 years to arrive at a Native values-centered process, using our Native people's wisdom as the subject matter experts of this work. We used a process that centered our people, that honors them, and that uplifts their voices. And in this process, we created these tribunals where we invited our community to step forward and share their truths. And in the sharing of those truths, lifting up the healing process, which I heard some questions asked about earlier, is how do you marry both a space for telling the truth with the healing that needs to happen? And those things actually go hand in hand. And so using a process that was designed by our people, for our people, and for Alaska's strengthened future, we designed a process that also included accountability partners. And those accountability partners were people who represent governments, churches, social groups, private individuals, for-profit enterprise, who were ready to sit and stand beside Native people and say, we want to understand the legacy of our impact, and we want to work side by side to co-create the future that we know our children deserve. This is wisdom and knowledge that comes from our people in Alaska, our Native people, who, like so many others of our Hawaiian brothers and sisters and our lower 48 Native brothers and sisters, have learned under duress how to actually hold people up, talking about incredibly hard things, and that wisdom should be tapped by this commission. I cannot thank you enough once again, and I want to leave with a story from my grandmother. My mother asked her a question about her experience with boarding schools. And my grandmother responded, I can tell you what happened physically, but I'm still not able to talk about what happened inside. And this commission will open up a pathway where these stories from people who are now elders will be heard. Time is of the essence. We cannot waste any more of their precious life with not giving them a forum to share their lived experiences. And it's Chish Hawa for this opportunity to share on this incredibly important bill.